Welcome back. I think we all want a teammate like Thea on their team.
I wish.
That was the most wholesome comms I've ever heard in the history of Valorant, not just
I just wish
VCT.
you'd, like, follow me around like in my everyday life and just support. Like, that's crazy. Like, oh, you made yourself breakfast. Nice. Let's
Do you
go.
need that support for making
Yes, because
breakfast?
otherwise I'm not making breakfast.
Okay. I wish she was there for you there. But I mean, I think it really speaks to the growth of this player. When she was the IGL of EG and made it here last year, it was like the first time ever coming to a LAN like this for Valorant. Her first time ever as an IGL. She had just slotted into the role. And now I think she's really found herself as a leader. And not just making the calls in the game, but as you saw in all those clips, as an emotional leader, as the one keeping the team together in a tough match like this.
Yeah, and this was an incredibly tough match. A lot of back and forth there. And we saw some early rounds, especially from Ev in the first half, where I think this is what really kept them in the game to keep going forward.
Totally. No, I think there are quite a few big ones, honestly, for Ev. There was this one round where it comes down to like this clutch situation, jumping into the smoke, the last second, 0.08 seconds.
Crazy.
To win out in that round. And then the 3K in this next one, I believe, was absolutely sick. And this is after the start of the game looked like a carbon copy almost of the first map.
And this is Ev too, who is a brand new player to this roster, just joined in for Series 3, and I think kind of came out of nowhere and has already proven themselves with this team, made it to GCC, and I think at least in this second map, played better here than in a lot of the domestic competition.
Yeah, I think this is a really good testament, and you know, we kind of knew that this was going to be an interesting matchup between the two teams. Now, there were moments, though, where Xipto was doing Xipto things and just clutching the heck out of everything except that last round.
There were so many clutches. Like,
Yeah,
it was
no, seriously.
outrageous what this team was doing. I mean, this round winning out the 1v2, and going back to what we were talking about with Thea, that's where it's so tough to be that voice of positivity when you're losing out clutches, where you're losing rounds you shouldn't. You just lost your Neon ult on an eco, and they stayed in it and stayed composed, despite how much they were getting pushed.
I don't know if they stayed composed.
FlyQuest did.
And they weren't staying in their chair.
No, definitely not that one.
Unreal, like just the complete polar opposite of like comms between the teams. It's like the supportive, like, nice, you guys are doing
good
great,
job.
and then just blasting out your teammates' eardrums.
And you see Thea here as well, fist bumping all her teammates, building them up into this next one. When we had Sapphire on the desk for GCC 2 years ago, she was talking a lot about how when she played with Thea back in the day in CS, how she was like this new kind of like mousy rookie player who wasn't super comfortable in that way. And I think over these years, we've seen her grow into such a leader and such a player that is more than just who she is in game, which I think is part of the reason why this FlyQuest team has been so good, why they were testing Shopify back home.
Yeah, you can just feel a lot of that empathetic sort of leadership coming from Thea there. And like you guys said, it's such a polar opposite kind of comms happening there. That's not to say Xipto's comms are the opposite of wholesome in terms of niceness. It's just got a totally
They're
different
just aggressively
energy.
wholesome.
Yeah, it's just a whole different, like, just scream till you feel better. And you know what, this was a really close map too. And probably the third map they've ever dropped in their whole year so far. I don't know about map 3 if that's going to continue the trend as we go into split.
I mean, it's a big question mark. Neither of these teams have played this map in a very long time. So this to me is all about like adapting on the fly. How good is the baseline synergy between these players? And this does feel to me like a pretty good place for Xipto to bounce back when they can be unpredictable, when you can't prep for them.
It's interesting because I actually think that I really like Fly's chances going into a map like this. I think when Split used to be in the pool, they were a team that was playing stuff like Gecko, like Astro, like a lot of these mid-range fighting pieces. And I also just think like the playstyle of their team overall really suits itself to a map like Split, where there's just very constantly like a lot of early engagements, especially over towards the A side.
Did you guys ever play them back when Split was in the pool?
I don't think so. We usually just got smoked by them on Icebox.
Okay.
And that's gone, so that's a good news for Xipto.
It is.
For Xipto, though, I wouldn't be surprised if a double duelist sort of situation comes back out very much like the
That was
first
really
map.
popular like a long time ago. I'm not so sure that like Double Duelist
Is it time to be a
sick
hipster
on
about
that?
Double Duelist Split?
Well, no, that's the thing is like, is hipster Double Duelist Split now like some like neon Yoru stuff, like Yoru
Yeah.
Ice, like is that the vibe? Because I'm not sure if like post like Raze nerfs and stuff, like if like Jet Raze is still my vibe.
I mean, even what we saw from Falcons with the deadlock today, I thought was really cool
Yeah.
as well. Like, there's a lot of options here.
Yeah, tons of options. Like again, on Pearl alone, we just seeing those double duelist comps that we've never seen before with those two particular agents. I think we'll be a little surprised in Split, or I think I will be a little surprised by the comps as we go into Split.
It seems like already FlyQuest have like put in some work to like make big compositional pivots, because on Sunset they've been playing that double Senti identity for the entirety of stage 3. So.
And here we
Duelist,
go,
yeah.
and both raises.
A deadlock on FlyQuest too. That's what has my eye here. Going into that double sentinel, it's Sonder actually locking in the deadlock there as well.
Yeah, that's Sonder had played the deadlock before on like a map like Sunset, for example, so not so out of left field on that one. But I do actually really like the idea of ignoring the Jet Neon is so strong right now. Like Jet or Neon plus Raves gives you such an ability to just overwhelm and swarm a site, especially when you're going for split hits.
I have two questions for Xipto's comp. The first is, how are they going to deal with this double sentinel? Normally this double dive is so good to just fast hit into sites, but Deadlock Cypher, really great at splitting that up. And also, with the solo Sky as their only initiator, how are they going to ration that utility to find the right times to use it and set themselves up for success?
Well, this is set up to be a very exciting way to end the day. We're going to head into the third and final map. We're going to find out which team dodges the lower bracket. Let's find out and send it back to Pansy and Potter for the call.
Thank you very much. And yeah, this series has delivered, but it comes down to map 3, right? We're looking at Split, and we're looking at two very different approaches to how they wanted to play this. Agent composition, what we've seen so far, all of these kind of factors being put in front of us. Christine, how has this changed your mind? Has it changed your mind? Do you see a front runner now appearing?
I do, Lauren. I'm loving this double Sentinel comp coming out here for FlyQuest. Not only do they get to start on the defense side of Split, but the fact that what we've been seeing from map 1 and 2, the aggression coming out for Xipto, especially in those posts, Aniri getting activated by the utility coming out here for Kamiyu. I mean, the double Sentinel for Fly, this sit nade coming out for Sonder on Deadlock, that is something that you have to get reps on. You have to be prepared for if you're on Xipto. So something maybe they're not going to be as used to. So I expect it's going to take them a few rounds to kind of get a footing in this half.
We might get the example of it pretty early too, right? Held in hand here. Waiting for the contact top middle. Smoke still in play, but Sonder getting a little ahead of this. I mean, there's 3 players here, so does she get the connect? She at least catches Aniri on this, and you could see the combo they wanted to go for.
Yeah, and that's a good trade. If you're Xipto, you're satisfied with that. You traded a dog for the sit nade. Now, the unfortunate thing is that single initiator that Mimi was talking about, as Kamiyu, you've got to be a little shicey. You've got to be a little stingy with the birds and with the dogs. But they are regrouping here, Xipto, and they're choosing the right side. Look at the rotation coming out here for Fly. No defenders on the site.
This is fine. This is they love this. This is a tick in the box. If you're Xipto, but Alexi gonna fall short there. Thea, nice little shot controlling. Hello, can we get admin?
Check PC,
Please. Thea, you're looking.
Wait a minute.
No, that's wild. That's wild. Okay, Shirazi gonna go 1v5. That's pretty rough. Starbound is there. FlyQuest get it started right for themselves now. After disastrous map 1, they are finding stability now.
Yeah, and they're having a little fun. Ev just holding on to that defuse, and that round was a little too easy if you're FlyQuest, right? I mean, there was a little bit of exchange in mid, and sure, I did say that Xipto will be okay with that without the sit nade on the board, but now they've got to take care of the Cypher util. Now they've got to figure out where that second Sentinel is set up. So I think Xipto is going to have to play a different kind of pace than what they're used to on this attack side. They may have to reset and cut noise 2 times in 1 round, and I just don't think that's something that they're used to doing in their scrims.
And obviously, contractually speaking, I have to get 1 tech force in.
Day 1, Lauren?
Look.
Is that how it works? Okay.
I got a yap, you know what I mean? My yapping quota wasn't quite filled. With 3 maps.
Oh,
Obviously.
wow.
It's... I can't get enough of myself. What can I say? Love my boy. I'm kidding. Hopefully whatever the issue is does get resolved quickly. I'm actually not sure. I'm seeing admins on the FlyQuest side. They're playing rock, paper,
Just gonna
scissors.
call them out like that?
Yeah, of course. That's why I have this lovely viewing area to look upon my kingdom and judge players. Yeah, because the admin from the Xipto side hasn't moved. They're just kind of like chilling. Right? They're just taking the stroll. Whereas already the admin on the other side closer. You know, hand toward hip on the microphone.
Should we shoutcast this rock, paper, scissors
If we
game
could
going
get
down?
a camera guy to have a little look. I think they're done already. They wrapped it up. They were too slow.
I think I saw Sandra winning that one out.
Someone was kind of pumped up from it too. You know what I
She
mean?
looks like a natural rock, paper, scissors star.
Do you have like a technique, like a go-to?
I do. It doesn't work every time, Lauren, but I actually
Wait,
do.
they're playing again. They're playing again. Wait, they're doing. Who is it? Thea won that one, I think. Okay, nice. Oh. That, like, someone's like, please, I want to go again. Pause the game. Pause the game. Oh.
Saunders challenging everyone out here.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think Saunders reigning champ, maybe. I don't know. Just like gave a freebie out to like Thea just to like get her, like, you know, she's IGL, got to keep her in the right place, mindset up, you know, you got to sandbag a little bit to keep
Give
that
her a
confidence
freebie.
high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to know what the tech pause is though. It's like I'm looking at this side. It's like Ali looks annoyed mostly. But we'll see. Any guesses in chat? What do we have? Gear. See, gear is so like you don't know what it is. That could be a keyboard.
Yeah,
that could be a mount.
As a coach,
I mean,
it is the best when your player tells you that they forgot to charge the mouse.
Oh, you've had some of that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice. That's good.
Yeah, the admins love you when that happens.
Oh yeah, that's solid. Cause like, what are you meant to do?
I mean,
Gotta plug it in.
it's user error. You know,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
can
true.
you do?
My favorite, water spillage. Because they always need 4 different kinds of beverages, obviously.
Of course.
There's, you know, the standard hydration in water, there's a Red Bull, and then maybe a hot beverage, and then the cups just get collected. And at some point, the lid will give way. At some point,
Well,
then...
if you're not gaming with that sort of risk factor
You think that
on your
helps?
table, of course, yeah, it
This,
keeps
that's
you
an
on your
EG
toes.
mentality, huh?
Keeps you on your toes. Am I gonna swift too hard and break the cup?
So that's the sort of technique you brought in with like Demon 1. You're like, okay, we need to get this kid ready. He needs to be on edge constantly.
I don't want to give away all my secrets.
No, of course, but that's just a little tip.
That's one
That
of
was just a
them.
little tip.
Yeah.
Still no idea what's going on. We are in Yap City. I was thinking. You know, the worst thing is I was preparing for having to film, which is probably my job. It's crazy that I was worried about that. But I was having a conversation with my friends recently. Crazy, I have those too. And we had this discussion of like, which horror movie do you think you'd survive it? Like specifically, is there one that comes to mind that you'd be like, light work?
I think I would
Like,
be
have a
the
think on it.
first. I'm not gonna lie to you,
You're the
Lauren.
first
I'm
one.
not in denial. I'm the first one to go. I'm the first one to die in this horror movie.
So you just accept it? Like, would you
Yeah.
willingly just walk out and be like, yeah,
I
it's
would
done.
be like,
It's
you know what?
over.
I'm gonna save us all the trouble. I will be the first to go.
But as like a sacrifice, or just because you don't want to be bothered?
As a sacrifice, maybe that
Okay.
noble move will
That
do
do
something.
something.
Be the key.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I already know that I'm not surviving. I'm not surviving, Lauren. In a horror film?
Okay, my bad. You know what? I thought you'd have a little bit of like, I don't know, like.
Yeah, put me on an
resilience.
island. Put me on an island.
Okay.
Give me some fishing line.
Oh no, I do need to talk to you about this. They are doing ready checks, by the way, so hopefully they'll be like making sure everything's good to go. Just to keep you guys updated. If you care about the game and not us talking nonsense. There was a talk of doing the Hunger Games, but among the casters, like an unbranded version, of course. We're not willing to pay for the rights for that, but you know what I mean. Like if it was like NA against EU, I'm like, but we need to steal Potter. You're like, Christina's like the #1 pick, and if they don't know about that, we'll explore that on the next tech pause.
Okay,
all right?
I love
Because
that.
I have been told we're ready to go, so thank you for your patience and tuning into our impromptu podcast about nothing. And focusing back on the game, we were seeing FlyQuest Red kind of starting to look, I don't want to say as expected, but living up to reputation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They are very towards the top end here. If you're looking at the players, the caliber, you put a lot of credit towards them. They're starting to look a bit more confident. Let's see if Xipto can get a grip back into this game now.
Definitely warmed up coming into this anti-eco. This second round is gonna say a lot, right? We've seen some funky things, and it's starting already. Lauren Saunders gets taken out while trying to set up this wall. And I mentioned these second rounds because if you're FlyQuest, every single round counts so much on this defense with this double senti comp. So this anti-eco, it cannot get dicey if you're Fly.
it can't, but
Look
it might.
at
Like,
they
look at
are
this.
so ready. The jumping classics, it's coming.
Oh, the flash. Oh, no, no. It's still not, it's not like, and here comes the neon fire around the corner. All good, all good, all good. I'm scared, I'm so scared, I'm so scared. It is like trying to survive a horror movie when there's just like neon sliding at you, like everything's going wrong. But 3 are alive. That's an acceptable loss, Sonder and Donut. You kind of like navigate past that. They still have the Bulldog there, so the prize possession is kept. And for Xipto, they got a little, you know, they've drawn blood, right? And it may be only Alexi doing that, but still, it gets you feeling out the game a little bit more. So, as it stands, we're going to the bonus now.
Yeah, and it's going to be a true bonus because you're right. It's okay. They got the round on the board, but too many have died. So Bucky out for Dodo Nut. And the great thing about Split on the defense side with this raise is you can set up so many fun traps. And with double Sentinel, with all these trips that Dodo Nut can have a sound cue to play off of, so many different interesting setups that Fly can do. Xipto, they want to stick all together though. Take care of this Cypher util and the dunk onto Sonder.
There was no escaping that, but I like the reaction just to try and fly down ramp. But Shirazi, all too prepared for it, just holds the line perfectly. Going to slip back a little bit deeper. Let the rest of the team take the attention, really, as Starbound and Dodo Nut wanted to try and springboard into it. But at this point, they should be able to find some stability here by getting that plant in play. It's going to be hard to try and gap close these final couple of kills. Shirazi's got to be careful though, 32 HP isn't that bad. Oh, Shirazi, that is so slick. Just dipping away, that's buying time, and she can eventually creep back up, but can depend on the likes of Neri to sweep it up, and you got 4 still alive. Tara was lost there, but that's again, acceptable losses. Good little start here, they make it through the bonus.
Yeah, and I like that awareness coming out here for Shirazi. Not being too greedy, making sure that the weapons and the money is strong as heck going into round 4. And beautiful response for Shirazi. There was a moment when things could have gotten dicey, but yeah, good to see the stabilizing on the anti-eco. And I'm curious to see how much Xipto are going to have to slow it down. You can see that they're all grouped up once again, all 5 members. And we talked about this double Senti setup. If Xipto are stopped on this first wave, they're not going to be able to get past. They're so committed, and Starbound finds the one.
Okay, Neri's answered back though. So taking steps, oh, that's not ideal. Oh, hold on, and Sonder, you talked about it, that sit nade is so difficult to deal with. The plant in, but they are locked to that site. Is there still a TP on Tara, maybe? Maybe could get off site here, but still counter paranoia going in, not really as effective as they'd like here, but they're stuck on the site and they're sticking to it too. They're already, they just swing out as 3. Tara makes light work of Sonder and Thea there. And that's a big round for Xipto too. Just kind of makes them feel like, okay, we can deal with this double Sentinel sort of approach.
Especially because it worked with such a simple approach, right? All 5 members just going head first into all the utility towards A. I gotta say though, I think if Dodo Nut didn't miss that paint shell coming up that rope, she would have met up with Dodo Nut a lot sooner in the round, and that pinch on the execute would have come through, and I think that flood would have looked differently. But great response, great aggro coming out here for Xipto. And for FlyQuest, that synergy between Sonder and Dodo Nut with that sit nade, it's got to be cleaner if they're going to be able to sustain these gun rounds.
It's just going to be a bit of a gamble from FlyQuest in this one. Opted to go for a bit of an A stack, didn't work out here. Nicely enough for Xipto, they get to walk in scot-free towards that B site, plant in play, and they've got a nice amount of util as well for the post plant if they need it. They're not overly stressed just yet. So, by all accounts, a good start to things. Might get a little bit tricky because, you know, Sheriffs can do some work towards this side of that. But again, to look at what they can achieve.
There should be a combo here, Lauren. Some sort of combo. This is the first time we're seeing Paint Shell on the board in tandem with that sit nade, but Tara,
okay, hold on,
does take out one of the key pieces of that util. They will be able to pick up that rifle, and this should be just a contained game. Starbound's got to stay alive.
Nice attempt, but Alexi overwhelms. And at this point, it's starting to get really tough to find any of those opportunities. They've already somewhat evacuated the site. Alexi going to go back in just to be certain, be sure, but at this point, time to back away. That's going to be a rifle lost, but still, they managed to make it through clean enough. 3 standing, 3 rifles. Ult's starting to come in here as well, which is what you're going to be looking at now, is that first real cycle of them. One away for Alexi now. You've got Iniri very close by. You've almost got the Seekers as well coming out on the other side. Seekers already in. And again, you're starting to see a lot of those start to hit here, but it's 3 on the trot for Xipto. They've got to be happy with this.
They've got to be happy for sure, especially with how the last 2 rounds have gone in complete full control. Xipto are calling so well, even sliding into that spawn before that retake was ever in tow. This round, FlyQuest with that Sky ultimate on the board, this should be a decent response on that first initial look where Xipto have been coming out on top. This time they're going to go towards poking towards B. Alexi's got that showstopper in hand, and we've seen these A hits just go in Xipto's favor so far on this attacking side, and usually that's where they want to regroup. Shirazi's getting all the space. That is an early Sky ult. The defender's really feeling the pressure so early in this round.
And I'm quite surprised. And now off the back of that, they're going for a 3-play walk towards B main. Okay, they've cleared it. But then no one's in mid. I don't know if I like this. I like the idea of taking the space, but they put themselves in a really tricky spot. Bought enough time that maybe they can stabilize here. Blind showstopper as well, pretty much there. Hoping we were to find maybe Thea, and it looks like he did a little bit of chip damage, but it's actually Iniri to fall down. Kamiyu and Alexi going to find their way forward. Kamiyu on the follow-up as well. Sight now looking under scrutiny, and I feel like there's a bit of mismanagement on the approach from what FlyQuest wanted out of that round. The Seekers felt desperate. The play towards B main felt a little bit out of sorts, but maybe they can fix the issues with this. A 2v4 is a lot to ask, and Alexi's hearing none of it. 4-2. I didn't like what I saw there.
I didn't either. There must have been some breakdown in the communication. The tell that they were looking for that to execute that fight came too early. I'm not sure if somebody saw something that they shouldn't have, but that sound cue came too early. The OMEN blind even to boot. So all that information just allowed Xipto to say, okay, you guys want to push B main? We'll just take your B heaven then. So all of a sudden the defenders got flipped on and the pinch was on. So Xipto, again, calling very well, keeping things very simple and then being decisive on their calls.
Now, when you look at this composition, because you were quite excited by the kind of double sentinel look here, what are some of the key factors that you wanted to see them kind of approach this game with? Because it changes how you look at Split almost.
Yeah, for sure, and it's got to be those trap plays. I mean, we already talked about it, but that early fight in B main, you saw that sit nade coming through.
Yep.
And there was just no bodies there, no enemies to be punished with this util. So they've got to have a better system or queue to fight off of. Let the enemies come closer into our territory so that we can create better checkmates for each other instead of just pulling the trigger too early.
Yeah. It felt like a bit of a needless round there. Again, even the Seekers, and you're right, the sit nade then over towards B main, it all felt a little bit mismanaged. Maybe think of the ducks in a row, we could start actually seeing some of that utility brought in a really nice way, because it can be so oppressive to play up against that deadlock in a well-used manner. And again, especially if you've got those duelists coming out like we have Iniri and Alexi who want to take that space aggressively, take as much as they can. If they're not being checked on this, they're going to keep pressing the issue further and further. So a little bit of a switch up, it looks like. Already going to have the Starbound over towards B, and then the switch being that they popped Sonda kind of, I guess, utility-wise towards Fence and over towards the A site. And now, straight up the guts, straight up middle. Alexi, though, going to be handled here. This is going to be much harder. Nice little counter, nice little slowdown, but Iniri then going to invest the ult. This is dangerous to do, I feel like, against maybe a Sheriff or a Force-Port round, but as it stands, Xipto managed to stay unscathed. They're okay. They've drawn a lot of utility, and they can just kind of, I don't want to say simmer, because you're going to use a lot of your own util here. I don't know if that was worth it yet.
We'll see. Definitely an exchange of a bunch of utility. That was an expensive opening towards mid, but Xipto are doing a fantastic job at canceling. That's something that, you know, newer teams, especially with the stage jitters, have an issue with, but what a shot coming out for Dodo. And she's got the ultimate.
Yeah, ready to go if needed, if required, if wanted. Has it. Could have shut the round down now, but instead, hey, there's the deadlock wall coming in, and it's so frustrating to spend half of your ammo shooting that damn thing. But still, I mean, for Alexi and Tara, this is now a nightmare. I didn't like that kind of feign up middle then to no real effect, and then they go back towards A and they have to kind of come in a little bit dry on that now. Quick TP, Cam is there, cancel as well, and there's the second reveal. They can sit in this, they can have these 4 players here. the deadlock utility still in place, but it doesn't stop you creeping up like that. So already going to be put on notice here. There's the ult we were waiting for. Thea's the one to do it with a stinger, but it's Sonder as well. FlyQuest with a massive Mastercard thrifty coming through. And a big reminder to Xipto to calm it down a little bit here. There's a reason the FlyQuest are very much respected in this.
Yeah, and it comes right after I gave kudos for that cancel call in middle. Turns out, Lauren, it wasn't worth it. Turns out it was just too much information given towards that mid, and because Xipto wasn't able to actually get any space or ground for that exchange in util, FlyQuest were feeling pretty comfortable. That rotate going from mid back up to that top A ramp is just only a couple seconds. So in position and ready with the response. Ooh, Alexi once again going very aggro towards this mid. Okay. The troll!
No! Just got whiplash! He just got whiplash from it. That is wild. Oh,
I don't know if I've ever seen that mechanic happen before.
Me neither.
The dog
takes it and then...
Wow.
I want to see that on slow-mo in case it was something else hitting at the same time, but I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, the trip's still there as well.
Alexi. Oh my goodness, that stun catching her at the last minute.
Mid shut down.
Yeah.
Let's go elsewhere. Mid's not for us. We don't even like mid. She doesn't even go here. Like, let's leave. Yeah, time to talk really and maybe make some options up here because 1v5 is a lot to ask for anyone, but Xipto now, that's twice so they've tried to go for this kind of mid-pressure, and twice it's gone wrong. This time in a little bit of a different fashion, but to a similar effect, right?
Yeah, this time Fly getting actually rewarded with kills and not just an exchange in util. I think Xipto going into the next round, maybe they have another one of those pocket strats where they really want to press the issue and have a quick opening, but I would say pretty soon in the next 2 rounds, Xipto really have to slow it down. They've got to work with their spread, and they've got to draw out this util. They've got to waste time of Starbound in the Cypher, break the camera, and they've got to waste time in Sonder.
It's a long old protocol list, isn't it, if you're Xipto?
10 seconds left.
It's just like there's so much util to have to keep in mind that trying to, you know, just break it through every single round if you want to at least keep your options open, right?
Yeah.
You don't want it to feel just like super telegraphed.
And hey, you don't have to play that boring game either. Lexi has been feeling very comfortable in mid, and she has been getting the ground, so she doesn't have to be playing not to lose in mid. She just has to be a little more finessey in mid, not just head against the wall, try to win every duel in front of her, but let her teammates get a little bit of pressure on the extremities.
Still not sure if it was actually the trip winner. I'm waiting.
It has to have been.
I think
it
so.
was a trip. It was a trip.
Can we just believe it for the sake of it?
I want to.
Okay, I like that. We do have a timeout for Xipto though, because again, if you've met that resistance a couple of times, come up with someone you want to deal with it, how you want to deal with it, what you want to approach it with. I think there's plenty of options, but again, when you're starting to see that strength of the composition for FlyQuest show to you, when you're starting to see that strength of, again, the double sentinel in effect, let's keep that mental in the right place of how we want to approach it. So take the time out, slow it down for a sec, have that conversation.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, if you're Xipto, really, you're just telling each other, if we get one more round, we're pretty happy.
Yeah,
even with 4, it feels like enough. Going into the second,
doable.
5 or 6, and that's just a luxury.
Yeah, you're laughing at that.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, listen, the double sentinel on the attack side is going to be tough. Sentini? Is that the new thing?
It's cute. It's cute. I don't know.
So for Xipto, they should feel very confident. They've had 4 rounds in a row, and it was all with those fast openings. FlyQuest have stabilized. Now Xipto, they've got to have a second plan in motion here.
And that's what we look to see is, what is the plan? How do they want to divide this
Spread
up?
out.
It can't
They're
be
not
middle
going
again.
towards mid. Yeah, they're not going towards mid.
We can't avoid that one. Swerve that. I'm just going to pay attention to how they want to really open this. They've got as much of a buy as they'd want. They've got everything they need.
Yeah, and Alexi is starting towards B, and usually where the raise is where they really want to sniff pretty deep. So it looks like Alexi is going to go looking for this Cypher trips. That smoke is a good response from Thea. Okay, this is the round where Xipto is getting a lot of value, actually. Already taking care of the deadlock wall. They've got the B main pressure. But look at Fly, they're so strong. They're maintaining their mid crossfire.
Going back to this just makes me so nervous. I don't mind it now just being like 2 players while they're still trying to test the extremities. Okay, they clear the util, right? It's starting to feel...
Oh, no!
Oh, no, the re-aggress. Fortunately enough, though, the ult finds no one, but that could have been much worse. But even though it feels pretty damn devastating, Alexi punished. I thought she'd make it through that without being at least discovered, but Tara and Shirazi... I mean, you're hearing a marching band get through there, but...
This is a lot of sound cues.
Do we need
Wait a minute.
I mean, they've got the cam there, but still.
Shirazi has an ult. If Tara is actually able to get this post down and Shirazi's a little patient, things can get real funky here in this round, 2v5.
This is weird.
Where are the bodies? There's a couple bodies. It does look like Shirazi wants to go find one.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Hold on. Shirazi just over-delivered. It's a 1v2 and Tara suddenly can be played into this. Starbound, Evie, neither of them have any big util, no flash to try and clear the path. Maybe a cage for Starbound, but that's it. Trying to master the steps of the drop here, but Tara's gonna hear it. Gonna know that they're getting closer towards the side, but can Tara deal with the pressure? Spots one on the cross, doesn't get it clean enough. FlyQuest go unpunished here, but that was damn close.
That was close, and I wonder what kind of info came through across the board to just get Fly all to Thunderfoot across like that. But what a trap play. What a response coming out here on the defense. I love how Xipto adjusted, and I love how they slowed it down, but Fly in that mid, that crossfire, just punishing. And these trips coming out for Starbound, 2 kills coming off the back of that in 2 different rounds. It's been a nightmare for Xipto to deal with here.
Player standing. Nice! Good job. Good comms.
Thank you, Thea.
That was not... I always like when the coach almost says something interesting that's like, nah, cut that. Pacey up, ramp is then, the nade was there as well in case they needed it, but Sonda quick enough with the gun out as well. Takes away an area, and they're starting to struggle against these double senties, as Christine calls them. Starbound, though, again, still in such a good position here, making it such hard work for Alexi.
Yeah, and look at where Thea was looking just now with that blind, just towards behind her. If her teammates in FlyQuest had gotten a little bit pressured or lost that duel, that blind would have come down that whole lane. So FlyQuest have a bunch of secondary traps already in motion. They've already gotten rewarded by taking out Aniri. No trade in sight, and look at how uncomfortable Xipto feel. They've got no control, no information, and they've got to start their execute all the way back here.
They do. But it is pretty, I don't want to say scot-free, but it is open towards the side because most of the util is focused towards that middle choke, right? So as it stands, Xipto are going to be out here. Tara gets past the first issue, but there are still more. Good information, but at this point, it's those Seekers coming down. Speaking of information, Alexi feels uncomfortable. Lucky to be alive there, didn't get punished because a blind had managed to make their way through towards him, but it's Thea to find Alexi. Next step and next stop towards the side. Thea with another stride in the right direction, and Sonda clears up Shirazi. Already we are seeing FlyQuest just looking in charge here.
In charge for sure. Thea once again leading by example, so steady towards that spawn area. And you saw FlyQuest, they didn't even move. As soon as they identified that Raze and Xipto were going to execute out of A main, they were cool, calm, and collected. Sonder knew all the time that Ev was going to show up with that Seekers to get that retake going. So very disciplined stuff coming out here for FlyQuest. And those secondary traps I talked about, the layers coming through on the defense, it is not easy to handle if you're Xipto.
No, they've stalled out here, Xipto. They've now felt what it's like to be under this very oppressive composition. We didn't see it too early on. It was quite surprising. We're like, wow, they're getting away with a lot here. This is kind of wild. But now we're seeing it. Now, it looks like there's a switch up, but suddenly mid's open.
If I'm Xipto going into this 11th round here, I'm looking straight at Alexi and I'm looking at Kamiyu's orbs. We just need to make sure these 2 ultimates are online for the last round of the half. Maybe get some kills, some feel-good frags, but Ev is ready.
Yeah. More. Still got a flash to play with as well.
Blind was so high.
Hold on. That's a little risky. That's
Wait a minute.
Really risky. And Neri's going to at least get a punish. One Kamiyu is there as well.
Oh,
this
no.
was badly handled from FlyQuest. That felt way too overzealous, way too out there. That was a mistake. And I don't think you need to be opening the door here for Xipto. 5 rounds is a lot to be playing with. Opportunity to even get 6 now.
You don't, and I feel like I've just jinxed them twice now.
Crazy.
Just complimenting the discipline, complimenting the setups, but yeah, things got dicey there, but great response coming out here for Xipto. I mean, and that was off the back of an unfortunate opening towards A as well, so Xipto this time around on that low buy coming out on top, and look at the ultimate economy as well. Coming to the last round of the half, if Xipto is able to walk away with the 6th,
Oof. That's that.
oh no.
Okay, Dodonut's in danger. Does she get to stay alive? For now, it looks like she does. Out with her life. Oh, and this is all sorts of topsy-turvy. I can't even keep track of what's going on here. But now they're trying to make their way across towards the site. And here we're going to take away Dodonut. Looks for another victim. Can't quite find it. Yes, she does. Xipto back in this. And that door was open. They left the window open for just a moment. And Xipto crashed on in. 6 apiece is a dangerous scoreline here. That's going to put FlyQuest on red alert. So I'm a little bit worried going into that second half now.
Something I couldn't do.
Six to 6 gives me pause to question here. It makes me bring up those last 2 rounds where the discipline slipped a little away, because it felt like FlyQuest had the solution. They had the right reads, great control, very oppressive with that double sentinel, but then that discipline slipped for just a moment.
Yeah, and it's by the smallest of margins as well, I gotta say. Dodonut buying that operator in the last round, she knew that the Rays had the ultimate online. I love that sort of risk. I love the playmaking that it takes to go forward and say, you know what, I'm gonna hit this shot and end the round right here by myself. But unfortunately for Fly, things just slipped out of their fingertips for the last 2 rounds. This is the most important pistol of the whole series. Obviously, we're going into map 3, but it's because FlyQuest pistols have looked so damn good all series long. This is the time to just double down on that and have one of those beautiful set pieces once again.
Fingers crossed for both sides, really. This has been an excellent series, kind of the highs and lows from both. You know, the 13-4 to begin with was a real rude wake-up call, but the answer back on Sunset. And now, of course, here, tied up at the half in map 3.
Over there.
And it looks like, speaking of set pieces, Christine, I think we got a little sweaty lineup.
It should be coming. I mean, this should allow Dodonut to have a lot of fun up top A ramp, really secure this fight. Great stun.
Does it catch?
So much utility traded back and forth. She's still sat.
That's so good. That's such a nice approach to this beautifully crafted, lovely little set piece just to take over that ramp control. And even the step in towards heaven, that lands in the doorway pretty deep.
I can't believe how deep that actually landed, Lauren. That is quite an arm on Saunders' back. But look at this lurk. They've inserted Starbound and they're making a lot of noise, acting like they've left.
Oh, that's value above
the second
expectation. I thought there could have been a follow-up there, but again, at this point, you're looking at the HP as well. That becomes a factor. Alexi is down to 10 HP. Tara's still there, and Shirazi. These two are the biggest factors for Xipto now.
Tara's got a blind. There's a camera still on the site. This should give plenty of information for Tara to rip that blind and maybe send a flood, but they've lost their time. And this deadlock utility is such a nuisance.
Yeah, that's just stalled out all that time. The paranoia really not going to find anyone. It's 3 players. Hold on, Paint Shell. Hold on. Hold on.
Juicy.
Hold on. Yeah, a little too far, a little too strong on the arms here. We've been seeing some real throws. And Tara gonna get one in the end, but I gotta say it, I'm so impressed with that little approach.
Yeah.
Just what a start.
Beautiful opening. Beautiful, clever opening.
Show me that again. Give me that
For
replay.
Xipto, they've got to be talking to each other right now. On this second round, on this save. Hey, listen, guys, look in the sky. When those barriers go down, warn each other about this sit nade coming across, because that's the tell. That's going to tell us where they want to open. And as long as we can sustain that small opening, they're going to have a great old time on the defense. But they've got to warn each other about it right now.
And going forward, that is what we're going to be looking out for. How much of that can they depend upon? I feel like a lot. Sonda is the same pair of hands when it comes to everything she does, pretty much. And here for Xipto, we have seen a lot of danger in these rounds, and I love what they're trying. I love it. The Flash almost throwing, you know, a bit of a curveball, but they've seen that there's players here. This should be a good pass. They're ahead. They're absolutely ahead, but the Flash coming in off the back of the sky will do the job. And FlyQuest this time not falling for any of Xipto's naughtiness that they've been trying. They keep this clean, 5 standing, flawless round.
It's exactly what you need. Exactly what you need if you're FlyQuest. But for Zip, they should be feeling okay. I hope that they've talked about that pistol and said, you know what, it's okay, we're going to be ready for these trap plays to start. Kind of give themselves some room here. Shirazi on that Cypher should allow the defenders in Xipto to set up for those 4-1s a lot more often. Leave Shirazi on an island and find themselves those fights that we saw in the first half.
Special for the bonus.
Same trip.
Yeah. You look at the difference of how quickly that gets cleared. FlyQuest straight up middle, getting rid of that. Xipto then on the other side of things, looking to get aggressive, looking for information, and they just find themselves beheaded. Starbound with a beautiful beginning over towards A, completely rolls out the red carpet, takes all the space that's available. Yeah, they're down low, but they've done their work. 10 HP. They can do any more. Oh, the off angle. It's gorgeous from Starbound. And a dreamy bonus round here. Their job's done. Gets a quick heal as well. Oh, it's everything you could ask for. Tara and Shirazi, I'm saving. I'm out of there.
They've got to survive, and I think FlyQuest have so much information at this point that pretty soon they should be starting the hunt, starting to chase just a little bit. And this is such a huge bonus round for Fly to convert. If they're able to actually take out both weapons as well, this is going to be devastating for the defenders. Tara's got a blind still. Oh, no. Get out of there.
Run. Run.
Player standing. Oh, no, her teammate's sabotaging.
It's crazy you're doing that, Sonda. That's crazy. 9 rounds, though. And we got to talk about converting a bonus like this. That is scary stuff.
It's scary. It's scary because all 4 members, all 5 members were Fly were alive and healthy as hell. Full HPs across the board, and even some utility left in the post plant to secure that one. So Xipto, again, they got caught off guard from the opening. It started on this pistol, and once again in this bonus. They've got to stay grouped up together and not allow this sit nade to affect them this much.
Okay, down to the Sheriffs. And this is when the scoreline starts to feel like it's being ripped away from you. 10 rounds would be next for FlyQuest. Xipto held on the 6, potentially. But they've been dangerous here before.
My ult's ready.
Ult's there now. Seekers are online. Starbound one away, I mean, after that previous round, no surprise there. And Sonda, not a million miles off either. On the other side, Alexi still got a way to go, same with Aniri. I mean, they haven't quite had the beginning they would have wanted here, but speaking of Seekers, straight in.
It's done.
Donut slowed down a little, can't quite fully capitalize off everything that she probably would have wanted here, but won't get punished either. The paranoia sent in as well, but still no punish. Shirazi probably frustrated by this because there were so many chances maybe to get a shot, but the timing not there. So Tara trying to catch the cross, belting shot on Donut, but couldn't quite get any more. Fair try.
That deadlock utility is so oppressive. Shirazi once again trying to find that timing, but gets stunned to boot. The retake is on. Just a dog, no flashes.
Oh,
wow.
Shirazi
Wait,
just
she
a
killed her.
planting
Whoa.
gift. No, wait, what are we watching? What the hell is going on? I don't understand what just happened. I need it in half speed. I'm too old to be seeing that happen that quickly.
It all started with Sonder wanting to force the deadlock ult on an anti-eco,
which is so unnecessary.
in a post. Right, it just felt so forced, but man, I would never have guessed that that would create this domino effect.
Yeah, like look at this. That great. Yeah,
These shots were incredible.
But this,
That one right there. Shirazi.
Sonda just got absolutely rinsed. Kamiyu as well.
Oh no. That, I mean, okay, if you're Xipto though, with how things have gone in this second half, you take those. You absolutely take those. For FlyQuest, this should be an easy shake-off. The fact that they've been in control, and all series long, these half buys have been wonky.
True,
you know what? We're just gonna shake that one off. We're moving right past that one.
If anything, it should be a warning signal, right? It's that like, hey, let's not give them space here. Xipto have been able so often to prove how dangerous they are. Hence a 6-6 at the half. Let's stop giving them any level to work with. So, Xipto now going to start feeling the pressure up through middle. Donut already going to take away Kamiyu, so it's going to be an Eerie to try and over-deliver, and Sonder isolates the kill so comfortably. This time playing very clinical. Look at this. This 1-3-1, pressure up mid, holding the extremities. They've got everything just lined up here.
Beautiful punishes, and you saw that Xipto was trying to punish off of their util, but FlyQuest one step ahead. And you know, Lauren, I gotta go back to that 2 rounds ago when you mentioned how well FlyQuest was handling that mid-trip. In that first half, when we saw that mid-trip, Fly was a little bit, their setups on the defense, that 3-man pack in the middle, just defending that trip, they were able to punish. Now, on the flip side of things, Xipto, they had 3 members in mid, but they didn't have that trip in mid. So again, that tell that they're looking for their Neon to just slide and take that fight, they need that sort of sound cue to go off of. So I'd like to see a little bit of a different setup, or just call that 3-2-1 and take the fight earlier with your 3. You don't need a tell always. As soon as a utility comes out from the attackers, just call it 3-2-1. But something like this would have looked better for Xipto, but FlyQuest, they are being very thorough at the moment.
I think it feels like a correction. You know, you get told off by your parents that one time, and then suddenly, you know, you're always going to be doing the dishes right. It's just like that last round where we like, you got a little too overconfident, peaked a little too much, got punished. We're like, okay, no, I got to get this right now. So I feel like they locked in a little bit here, getting that 10th on the board. And we were worried. Seeing 6-6, I think, is normally a worrying scoreline. You're like, okay, that's pretty close. But at this point, FlyQuest instantly right back into gear. This is where we kind of need to see the resilience from Xipto. We need to see around, but their money's still all over the shop. A huge investment here into this operator. That is a heavy investment to go for.
Yeah, this is definitely the time to pull out all the curveballs, all the answers if you have them. And Alexia is 2 off the orb. If she's able to catch one and hold the attackers at bay, collect the orb for herself later, we've got the showstopper online for a retake. So this should allow all the rest of our teammates not to over-rotate. Everyone should feel very confident in their positions. Starbound's gonna take this opportunity though. Ops on the other side, so she takes space.
Now they've been kind of shown this different look, right? They know that operator's around. You got to start kind of changing how you want to be. There's an Eerie. Gonna spot the cross. Gonna see it. Gonna see 2. That's big info here. Seeker's gonna come down, but Dodo not gonna turn attention. Turn back around, and Tara with a huge double. Eerie on the follow-up. This is big from Xipto, getting brawly. Getting the round as well. Heavy investment and a heavy reward.
The Buckies coming through strong there. And this time, FlyQuest weren't quite as committed once they come up towards that mid. That blind coming through from Tara towards that B site really put a spanner in the works for Fly's spacing there. But a response nonetheless, Bucky coming through strong. And finally, that 3-fighter pack in mid, that crossfire, it was able to sustain.
Okay, a couple of ults here now for Xipto. 1 away from Showstopper for Alexi too.
Looks like it's a full 5A hit.
Who's on the other side
Look
here?
at that trip.
Okay, Shirazi. Oh,
They hear the sound cue.
Uh-oh, Donut on the hunt. The trap! It's so good! It's so good! Layers upon layers here of thought in place. Plant's in though, so it's a 5v4 post-plant. It's not incredibly out of the realms of reality to still lock this one down. It's already util broken towards CT, flash towards trap. The flood comes in, it's a trade out so far. Thea's still alive. Really trying to sit back, find a little bit of safety. Sonda trying to close the gap to that nice little off angle towards CT, but gets spotted. And Eri removes even just there in a 1v4. Xipto are back in the game now. Gap getting closed.
What a round. I mean, that was one of FlyQuest's sequences that have been working so well from them, from the pistol round to the bonus to another set piece to start. But man, that trip, that counter, the awareness coming out here for Shirazi, they've been having incredible trips all game long, but that just caught and stopped the entire hit coming out here for Dodonut. There's no way she expected that trip up there.
One enemy remaining.
That was so good.
Reloading.
And I like the change coming out for Xipto. Of course, it helps that they're coming out on top of these little skirmishes, but they're being decisive.
Yeah.
They're not just waiting for an enemy to come into their crosshair and jiggle and sniff. They're being decisive, and as soon as they're scaled into the site, they're hard flooding and taking the fight to fly.
And I think that's enough, that they've seen enough red flags, right? They're like, okay, this the last 4 rounds, 3 of them have gone to Xipto. Let's slow this down a little bit now. What's changed? What's going on? Because they had a really good grip initially, but it's been slipping, right? It has started to, slip away a little bit. And now the economy's looking much healthier for Xipto. They've got some good ults still in the pocket. That's great to have. Can rebuild back with Aniri and Kamiyu. On the other side, getting close to a couple of theirs, though. So they might have that snowball round close enough by. So that's something they've got to keep in mind. But their money's still a bit shaky. Going to see Sheriffs, maybe a half purchase here to round out the money. But I don't know what the game plan is coming back in now, because they've been posed a question at the scariest time, right? You got yourself to 10 real close by, and they're like, wait, hold on, the gap's getting closer.
Scariest time for sure. I mean, Jovi is in such a tough position. This kind of pause is the toughest. The money is shot. No ultimates coming on board online to create some sort of plan to get around on the board and just stabilize for your team. So this is a tough one. Not sure what Jovi called here, but it looks like it's going to be a half buy with a hero rifle in the back pocket of Dodonut. They want to find an entry on one of their openings here.
Here.
Yeah, with the 2 Bulldogs, then Sheriff and a Ghost, and that's kind of it. They've got util, but again, can they identify where Alexi would be? Because that's got to be part of the list now. You've got to start adding to that list of things we've got to do.
If you're FlyQuest here and you're able to just waste Alexi's showstopper,
Like this.
try to get it off the board.
Big info. Yeah, this is huge.
Oh my, she
This
actually
is-
ripped it.
Oh my god, wait, but Aniri just checked. Aniri's going to see that there was at least 2-3 players there.
Oh no.
Goes the ult, but Tara is, oh my god, Tara with an outrageous 3 just holds the cross so well. Xipto are large and in charge. That looked like the least threatening FlyQuest round I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it was successful. Job done. They did bait out the ultimate in Alexi towards mid.
Great.
But Tara's back. Tara's back. Map 1 and 2. She was such an anchor, such a pivotal anchor on the extremities. A little bit quiet in this 3rd map, but showing up right when her team needs her most. Able to just make this round look too easy. FlyQuest wasn't even able to get an inch of space outside of that A main.
I feel like if they offset it by maybe a second or 2, because they were trying to fake out that mid presence, which they did so well, but regardless, refocus here. The flash hit, so they know someone's in attendance, but they don't know how many. Alexi, a little bit of an adjustment here, and they did catch the tag. Dodonut is down a little lower, so he'll going to be brought in. Already, Sonda's taking the space up middle, has the ult as well. No opportunity really to use it here. 3-play stack over towards A. Looking to be just Starbound's timing is unreal.
Got
Over
the
there.
neural theft online
Over
as
there.
well, and you saw Sonder placing that trip down for a refight, expecting a reaggress coming out. So much space Thea has. This B split is on the
No, wait! Again? Sonda, it's the poison chalice. Every time she wants to use that ult, she just gets evaporated.
remaining.
But now Starbound left in a 1v2. This would be pretty much for all the marbles. 5 HP is so difficult, and Tara's having none of it. Xipto taking the lead. And Sonda, please don't use that ult ever again.
Was that Shirazi for the second time taking out Sonder
Was it?
in this second half? Oh my goodness. That should have been FlyQuest's round. The
Slam
way
dunk,
the
right?
mini-map looked, the way the defenders were under pressure the whole time. But the timing, I cannot believe the one-taps that are coming out in these high-pressure moments right when they matter most.
Clean. Scares the life out of me. And now the money's absolutely in
shot.
the bin again.
Satchel out.
Okay, they have 4 ultimates though.
They do.
Oh, that trip!
But look at it. It felt desperate then. It felt like desperate approaches and measures being made as the game's starting to slip away from them now. This could be 12 on the on board for Xipto. As one by one, FlyQuest just trying to make a play, trying to make something happen, and right now all they are being is punished. 3 players holding them back in middle, an opportunity and a little bit of damage done, but it's not much. So Sonder and Thea,
Down here.
this is so tricky. Getting that Bucky, it seems cursed to try and even go for it. It's not worth it. Sonder doing everything she can. Can she stand tall in these moments? 50 seconds. Would have to go nuclear, and a tag was not going to be enough. 12 rounds for Xipto, as these chances are just slipping between FlyQuest's fingers, and you got that horrible sinking feeling. This is 5 in a row now.
Xipto are not skipping a beat. At first, FlyQuest Red were having the control towards that
Absolutely,
mid. But these last few rounds, the way Xipto have been so decisive in this mid fight, and with that trip to just be that secondary layer in that middle to boot, has been tough for FlyQuest to answer on. But look at these
So many.
ultimates coming up online. So many on the board. Dodonut has been waiting to use this showstopper to get back in the game, and oh, that's not going to be good enough.
Nothing. We talk about desperation plays, and it's happening again. None of these are finding what they want.
Ah, Dodonut, she really thought that Tara was going to be up close and personal, just like last time. Several rounds now, Xipto have been up close in that A ramp, but unfortunately, no one there. This Seekers should allow FlyQuest to know that the B site is weak.
And Eri's got to be careful though, doesn't want to overextend here. You're going to be caught in the trip. You're gonna be trying to get down towards the side, but Tara now filling the space, and Eri on the trade out. Xipto still in control with 4 alive. Donut there, Starbound trying to hold on. It's Donut's take away an Eri, but look at the spike still up there. They've got to go and get this one back in hand. Kamiyu creeping a bit closer here. It's going to be Starbound on the fight, and they're going to get it. Kamiyu goes down. Gonna get the North left in there. Information going. Thea is going to get at least a TP there, maybe trying to add a little bit of doubt amongst their minds. But Shirazi never left. Alexi's still near enough by. If Shirazi gets 1, but you're going to look at the positioning coming out from Starbound. That should be where the buck stops, really. And the other 2 players focusing on CT. Nice approach. Starbound's done their job, taking away Shirazi. It's Alexi in a 1v3. The Thea, we can't be just falling asleep at the wheel here. Alexi, 1 away from getting that paint shell back as well, but can't get half. Looking to try and isolate Starbound, try and find them, but now spots him. Oh, shot! And now, with the paint shell back on, Dodonut keeps them safe, keeps them alive, and with a chance of OT.
That slowed down for me right there, Lauren. That nade, if Dodonut doesn't hit that shot, that is a clutch round converted for Alexi. What an incredible round. And thank you, Colbot, for this timeout. We needed it. We needed it for sure.
I think, oh my god.
Incredible.
Christ, that was
Oh
risky.
my gosh.
Let's keep it up, guys. Heck it.
Deep breaths.
Deep breaths.
Okay, so Xipto, let's kind of look at their case here. Their timeout, they've got 2 ults in hand currently. They have the Neon's ult and they have the Cypher's ult. Cypher's a little less that they can use proactively, but still good. The Neon's a whole different kettle of fish. However, Alexi 2 away from the Showstopper, 1 away from the Seekers. Other side of things, they burnt most of it. Sonders is the closest on FlyQuest Red. Don't touch it. It's like, you know, Pandora's box, don't go near it. Bad things are gonna happen. We don't do that for Sonder. So I'm a little nervous here, because that's a big ult. They've still got the nice buy there. And this is 1 out of, what, 5 rounds now?
Yeah,
This is
1
just
out of 5.
one little break.
And the key point is, Lauren, this is 1 out of 5, but they had to use 3 ultimates to barely scrape by and get that round on the board. So going into this last round of the half, They got nothing. They finally do have the weaponry and the armor to be able to slow things down and maybe poke and prod their way into this last round, but definitely it looks like they're going to stay away from middle because they don't have the ultimates to push and pull Xipto away, but they want to have this opening towards A again. Sandra and Dodonut sticking together, trying to see if their combo and utility can find them any sort of opening. And Alexi still got that operator on this long line. FlyQuest want to approach this round real slow, Lauren. They've got the spread out. Even though the spike is towards this A, they don't want to end here.
So they've added doubt. Cage goes in and the boombot's there, right? So Alexi's not had the information she'd want. She's not going to be able to confirm or deny. They do have the trip up towards heaven. So maybe they've got an idea that no one's made it past. There is a chance that maybe an Omen TP'd, you'd hope you'd hear it. So there's a couple of things they can go through. Now they're flexing back towards middle. But slowly but surely, they are running out of the utility to do this constantly, right? You're not going to have the same flashes. You're not going to have the boombot there. You're going to have to do it a little bit harder. I'm worried about this setup here, Christine. I'm worried about this
pinch
one.
timing from Starbound. You can see that they're right on top of a trip. As soon as they get contact in middle, you can expect Starbound to pick up the speed here. Oh, they didn't like what they saw in mid.
Something didn't feel right. Something did not feel right. Starbound's taking space, though. Could be big.
FlyQuest don't care about the noise that they're creating either. They're okay with just running it down, but that's their mistake.
Alexi was waiting the whole time. They've already lost out on Sonda, but it's Tara now creeping up closer, trying to get back through, but Starbound's been holding this one, and Starbound was ready. Maybe OT is beckoning. Maybe we're not done just yet. Dodonut gonna dip down, sit a little lower here. Iniri and Shirazi trying to work back in, but it's Thea holding on to it, and Dodonut to close out 12 apiece. It's OT.
Oh, wow. The call came through for Starbound. You know, I thought for a second maybe the call would come through for the pinch, but instead Starbound brought their whole team all the way back towards A. And again, things got dicey, but I'm glad to see that FlyQuest split. Their pinch with Dodonut going through heaven and meeting back up with Starbound finally worked out for them. There was no cheeky trip there to just put a spanner in the works. FlyQuest are able to convert and get rewarded for their control.
It was a big call. Whoever made that, if it was Starbound themselves making that call, hey, I've got this space, let's have faith in the call behind it. It did get scary when you had Alexi with an op towards CT. That could have been super deadly, but as it stands, all good. We go back in. Remind yourself how this felt, FlyQuest here on the defending side.
They were very good about this trip and how they chose to fight off of it. 4 versus 4, really it's 4 versus 5 in mid here. Look at how many defenders are wanting to fight off of this sit nade coming off of Sonder. Oh, that was early.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they just went off a timing.
It was just a 3-2-1, yeah.
Just like a let's go for it. And now they dismantle where they were in middle, leaving up to the trips that are still in play. That hasn't been broken. So if they go back to this, I mean, Alexi with his op.
Look at Deadlock's trip up top at A ramp. If Alexi goes a little too deep here, oh, they're gonna do it.
There's pressure on two fronts now. We've got the mid pressure and the flash came in. Dodonut had the angle better than Alexi in the end. They re-clear, they've learned their lessons this time. Iniri though, quick to adjust straight through towards B. Lots of space, a lot of safety. They can get this plant. There is an absolute limited amount of pressure. Quick smoke up towards heaven as well. That's huge. Going to stop any sort of presence. They've already cleared middle quite well, so they're comfortable that no one's been going for that backstab. But Iniri breaking through on CT is a problem. That's an issue the FlyQuest can't answer. And now a 3v2. Advantage to Xipto. So Thea going to try and make a play towards this. Dip on in. Outdoes Tara, diffing the Omen. Kamiyu with a reply. Half achieved. Thea tries to make a play. But Iniri is there, safe pair of hands, and advantage is to Xipto.
And Xipto are so decisive in the mid-round. You saw them pivot and go straight up that B halls as soon as their teammates got contact at A. But this push in spawn from Iniri, as soon as that retake starts in action in that B heaven, that's the timing that Iniri is pushing through that spawn, completely punishing Starbound. And that gives you so much room to wiggle around with if you're in the site. If you know that the spawn is covered, there's not going to be any enemies retaking from that angle. You can just look forward, keep your crosshair completely adjusted. So a beautiful post coming through here for Xipto.
Go get him.
This was a similar setup to what we saw, and I think FlyQuest was, they didn't like it, right? It was when Starbound found the space over towards ramp. This time Alexi has been locking it. We haven't got to see what this mid kind of crunch was gonna be. It looked like Tara was waiting in the off angle maybe, but...
Oh no!
Oh my god, oh my good god, Tara, run for your life. Tara can't get away in time. This is getting messy. You can see the pressure mounting on these teams. A quick paranoia comes in, doesn't quite do as much as they want, but now into 4v3, it's FlyQuest now with the pressure on them. Donut, Thea, and Evie gonna have to bring this together. Try and work out something. 50 seconds. That's all they get.
You can see that Thea's just put down the smoke towards this A main to try to cut off that line, send a little bit of misdirection, but Shirazi has so much cover. Trip down, Cage to slow it down even, but no flashes.
Kamiyu can't work off it, and they've already pathed to try and deal with Heaven. This is really good from FlyQuest until then. Shirazi still playing their life so well, but now down to a one player remaining in the form of Alexi, and you're gonna have that Seeker coming on in as well. That's perfect. Couldn't ask for a better timing on this. So now what do they do here? Alexi weighing up their options. Both of them were prepared for that drop from Heaven. You can see it on the minimap. Now just trying to shift back in towards B main a little further.
And that smoke landed right in the nick of time. Alexi wasn't even able to fully reload their gun.
Are they going to go for a 3-2 swing? Are they going to try and... They're just trying to play this together. The timing could be right. I don't think Alexi knows this. No way to count about it. And Alexi's just going to have to try and make a play. And I think we know how this goes. FlyQuest are not out yet. They're not down and they're not done. We go again.
What a fumble coming out here for Xipto in OT as well. They had everything that they needed, and it started the moment that Tara kind of got caught out in that position. We call it Boaster on my team, but that far right side of Vent. Unfortunate for Xipto, but a great start and an even better response here for Fly. And it's that same post-fighting pack, right? Both players sticking together, walking through, isolating each angle and just not allowing the retakers to get their protocols in motion.
And now we get into the realms of OT where it goes outside of the norm. I feel this is when the pressure feels the highest, when it feels like you can't repeat any of what you've done before. And it all becomes down to like the coaching in my mind as well. Because this timeout is accessible to both of these coaches. Have a chat, get, you know, touch back in with the players, see what they want to approach this with. It's a micro game within itself. So at this point, where do you put your stock though? Because these two teams have delivered in both their unique ways. I feel like you preferred FlyQuest Red's composition.
Yeah. But
you've been enjoying what Xipto's been doing about theirs anyway. So where would you put this now in OT?
You know, I think for Fly, they've got to be able to convert this defense. In the first OT, they got surprised by Xipto's opening. I think if Fly's able to convert this defense, this should be a 15-13. If I was a betting person. Yeah, if I was a betting person.
Okay. We'll see. We wait and see. As it stands, 13-13. First to 15 here. Or we go again.
No glass cannon off this time.
Let's have a little watch here as to what they want to do.
Aniri is so far away from the pack.
That's a plan. I mean, it's a little bit scary. Just listening out for the audio and then backing away, but it seems really, really high risk.
Definitely a slower start.
Oh, Sunder besting that over towards this side here. It feels demoralizing at that point.
It's pretty early though. If you're Xipto, you're happy about this. You can take care of this wall pretty early while you are on this side of the map. And look how patient Aniri is being. Just waiting to see if the defenders come a little too far past this line of scrimmage, ready to punish.
Kamiyu.
Oh boy.
Kamiyu, you gotta be careful. You got the spike, Kamiyu. They're trying to get a quick punish on this one, but it felt like they just walked into a trap there. FlyQuest were looking for that brawl in middle. They wanted that. They had 4 players swinging for it. Now Xipto in a little bit of trouble, but they're just gonna tail it over towards that A site. Just fly on in. It was completely open for them now. But the retake, the FlyQuest will go for is going to be the scary factor. They've got to take some space here.
They really
Priority
do.
on CT.
The fact that Fly have full control over top A ramp as well just allows them only to go and spawn. That's where most of the Fly members are, but Xipto, they're coming out on top of the trades.
Okay, but Sonder can creep towards the side, but it's Kamiyu waiting in the back by screens. Eevee's going to try to do what they can, but I mean, you can't turn around that much. Xipto, the priority on taking over CT was the blessing they were after. Take that space, take that fight. The paranoid just not reaching far enough, and it worked out perfectly.
Yeah, and that should, I mean, Xipto Xipto once again with these spawn pushes once they're in the site, whether it's at A or whether it's at B, it's been a constant nuisance coming through. Sure, it's because FlyQuest, the deadlock utility towards that upper A ramp or towards that B heaven doesn't allow them to get that control, but in Neri, that timing that they're finding, it's really making these posts so hard for the defenders.
A late round switch there, Sonda.
Glass cannon.
Yeah, went for that quite late too, so that'll be interesting to see how that affects the outcome. Yeah, I mean, noting players invent, not all that surprising at this point. Trips in play, feels like rinse and repeat.
Round 2 again for Terra.
This is tough. Or not. One's in.
They don't want to break the trip yet.
Nope. But look at the timing. Look at the timing. Look at the timing on A.
Does Starbound bring the team back towards A main again, or do they go for the timing on the pitch?
But now Alexi, right? This.
Oh, Starbound's timing!
Oh my God, Starbound could be game-changing in this moment. That's one player. That's two. That's what dreams are made of. Starbound again. This lurk timing, and your heart breaks for Alexi because the timing that they crossed each other was just down to the wire. It ain't over yet, but it's not looking good. Starbound. I mean, a little lackadaisical there, but still. Now they try to trip the cross. Hold on, Kamiyu still going to find Sonda. This is certainly not done yet. Alexi, Kamiyu, Shirazi still very much alive. Dodonut wants space though, and not alone.
30 seconds left.
Even joining them on this mission to go through.
Shirazi's so aware.
Shirazi, this is heads up work. How long do you hold it though? Patience is a virtue, and it doesn't pay off this time. Dodonut joined with the support, leaving Alexi and Kamiyu still closing the gap here. Both players on CT. Xipto have done it. You could say that it was an upset the first time, but Xipto have FlyQuest Red's number.
They absolutely do. You even saw how excited Alexi looked in that last moment. As soon as the comms came through, she put her paint shell away, pulled out the knife, and W-keyed it through spawn. Those comms coming through, both are there, and they're able to convert. But that's been the strength of Xipto, those decisive movements. As soon as they open on one part of the map, they were quickly making those adjustment calls come through.
And we got to then have a conversation about FlyQuest here, because the highs that this team showed, those little set pieces, the individual, there are so many key things about FlyQuest that are incredible.
Yes.
But today, Xipto were the better side.
Yeah, I mean, the prep certainly coming through here. I wish we could have said that that Fly looked confident from the start, but it did take them a little bit longer to warm up. But Xipto never let off the pressure. From map 1 till the end here in OT, they were constantly pressing the issue.
Yeah, they were. They were fired up. They were dangerous. They were deadly. Hard to not enjoy watching them play, right? A very exciting side to watch play. Alexi having a belting series. Shirazi, some incredibly impactful rounds. Kamiyu, I mean, you could list off the entire team, right?
Yeah.
Like every single player had those rounds, had that impact. So very impressive. I've got to say, this is, I'd say, the dark horse for me when I look at Xipto, right? They're a team that doesn't necessarily get brought into that initial conversation, but they should be now.
They absolutely should be. And it's going to flip for me because FlyQuest Red were my dark horse coming into this tournament. So we'll see what and how Xipto respond with this momentum going into their second series. And for FlyQuest, they've got to be able to stabilize. They've got to be able to self-reflect and go fix their issues going into their second series as well.
Yeah, and that's what these teams now get, right? They get the time to look back, fix it up, and move forward. That's the hope, at least, going to the next couple of games. That was a very loud replay, really quite deafening, so I couldn't speak. But fortunately, yeah, no one's out yet. There is that lower side of things, but no one wants to go down to the lower side, right? It's not something you want to be going after that first initial game. So that's it. FlyQuest, keep the chin up, keep themselves working in the right direction. It feels like they've got their kryptonite out of the way early. Maybe they can bounce back. But it feels like the sky's the limit for Xipto, a team that's been deadly, and a lot of people were looking at them being the dark horse, the team to potentially upset. And if people don't take them seriously, they will be punished on it. They played a, I mean, that.
Oh, that shot
that.
right there.
Come on. That's even worse.
It really is. It really is. And not only the second time we saw that, but we saw that exact play 2 times in the same half. So these shots coming out in this series, this was an very enjoyable series to watch.
And this was day 1, right? This is the first time we get to see them on stage, so this has been such a good welcome back to Game Changers. I'm damn happy, and so is the player on stage there, Alexi. So we're going to head down for the Verizon post-match interview with Yinzu and Alexi.
Just witnessed an absolute masterclass on this stage. I'm now joined by Alexi from Xipto. First of all, congratulations on your opening win here. You good?
Yeah, I'm so tired.
I was going to say, it felt just so tense watching you guys kind of go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. What do you think was the reason that you guys were the team that ended up actually winning this match?
We just identified their setups at first in their attacking. But we know we're supposed to win already, but we just kept throwing, picking 1v1. We're not playing together. So this match, we learned a lot in terms of individual skills.
Your coach was having a heart attack. We were looking at him on the coach cam. Now, you guys have been cooking, you know? We weren't quite sure which teams were going to actually play Pearl and Split, especially on day one this early on. You guys were not scared to lean into this. So talk me through, I'll start with Pearl. Maybe some of the theories behind the comp that you ran?
Actually, we just trying comms, and then with the two duelists, me and Eneri, that's the comp that worked on us. So we just go on it.
Is it as simple as like Alexi and Eneri go kill? Is it like that? Really?
Yeah.
Okay, but what about the other maps then? Is that the same theory?
I'm on the Split also, I think. Yeah.
The go kill strat.
Because we don't have a lot of time to prepare, so we just go easy, go kill, you know.
And how do you kind of divide up the duelist agents specifically that you and Eneri play? Is there like a fight for it? Do you guys have a particular one that you always want to go for?
There's nothing, I think. It's always like Odell is the hard entry. I'm just gonna support all the way.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna support her behind.
You had some really good entries today as well. I think some really, really important ones on Split as well. For the people that didn't get to see you play last time you were at Game Changers Champs, I think they are now catching on to your energy on this stage. I've seen some people even call your screams a war cry on social media. Does this come natural to you? You just love kind of screaming and make sure you get your energy out?
Because I only want to release my adrenaline, so that's my coping mechanism for my adrenaline. So yeah, it's coming out naturally, I guess.
What do you? Oh, they love that. What do your teammates think about that? Do they have to maybe dial you down a little bit?
Sometimes they are annoyed. I don't know why, but yeah, I lessened a bit because I know it's quite annoying because I'm always shouting and they cannot hear anything. So yeah.
It's not annoying. I'm going to tell you, we love it. We absolutely love it. In fact, there is a player here in EMEA and VCT that usually plays on this stage. His name is Util. He plays for Foot. And on social media, he wanted to challenge you to a 1v1 screaming match. Are you willing to accept his challenge?
Sure.
Yes, that's the attitude I love. And I feel like I back you. I think you would win this challenge. And lastly, before I let you go, speaking of winning, that is your 21st winning game streak. So you're on a 21 win streak. You guys in the this roster, the SMG, the core, you just don't lose at all, really. You've only ever lost twice, and it was against a G2, I believe, champs as well. How do you keep this up? How do you just keep winning?
Last year we learned a lot on how to maintain our resilience. Because last year we just we kept losing rounds. We just go sad and go on, you know. But this year we are more disciplined and more resilient. So we're not gonna give up. Even if we're gonna lose one map, we're gonna make sure we can still win the game.
Are you gonna win this tournament flawlessly?
Yeah.
Yes, that is what I like to hear, guys. Come on, give it up, Alexi. They're gonna do it flawlessly. Thank you very much for joining me, and best of luck in your next game.
Thank you.
Oh boy, all right, we are back and we've got Kamiyu with us. Is it true? Does the Alexi Banshee cry annoy you?
To be honest, yes. Legit, you cannot really hear anything unless you're on that game.
Oh, really?
Is it like between rounds? Like you're trying to make a call for the next one, she's just yelling?
Yeah, and it's so fun because it will sometimes cut off because of the high voice, you know.
Oh, like she's too loud for the mic to even pick her up.
Yep.
That's awesome.
All right, that was such an intense last map. Actually, they all, the last two were. And it started so differently. It started from Pearl, where you guys just looked really comfortable. You looked very much yourselves. Can you talk me through just like how you felt going from Pearl and then sort of getting that fight back from Fly as you went on?
Okay, on Pearl, to be honest, Pearl, I'm very much confident because I have two duelists, which is the two duo.
Yeah.
So we can actually, I think, it's easier for us to enter this and enter that. Then I just need to recon this and they will just shoot and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, now, there was a couple moments where we thought things were going to turn around on Split. We're like, ooh, this is where Xipto turns it around. Ooh, this is where Xipto turns around. But there's one particular round we wanted to talk about where it looked like things just clicked for you guys around round 16 here.
Yeah, talk to this retake. You have Sheriffs, you just lost the bonus round, and you come out and do this.
Oh my god. I'm also shocked, to be honest.
Yeah?
Like, oh my god, that's me. I'm the GOAT.
Add that to your highlight reel. That's going up.
Do you ever watch your own clips?
To be honest, yeah, to boost my confidence. And actually, my adrenaline on that after that round was legit so high.
In a good way?
In a good way.
That's great. Yeah, because I've never seen you guys look so focused and intense. Maybe besides Abyss during the grand final.
And maybe beside Alexi screaming.
Yeah, it was a very different phase. In fact, during your timeouts, what are you guys using those timeouts for? Is that for a mental reset, or are you guys talking about like game strat?
Guys, to be honest, we're always getting scolded by Colbat. You know, his favorite line is like, guys, just stick together.
Do you listen?
Well, as we can see, how many times I died like picking one by one. So, okay. I guess I'm getting scolded later.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But you won the game here. I wanted to talk more about that split game. You guys lock in. It's a new map that just got added back to the pool, and you're playing against this deadlock Cypher comp. Is that something you guys expected, or was that kind of a curveball coming in?
Oh, to be honest, like based on our experience, like we're from APAC, right? A lot of teams are not really doing that comp because we're like
it's
APAC is
popular in like
full
North
W
America
and
and stuff. Yeah.
So it's like we legit had trouble onto like adapting on their game style and what do they do because to be honest, we're so impatient.
Do you think that's a strength for Xipto, like adapting on the fly to what the other team is doing, or are you better at like the ahead of time prepping, knowing what's coming?
I think both.
Okay.
Since like our coach is like on the more prepared side, then we are like on the adapt this and that. Yeah.
Who's like the player in game that's like calling out like, oh, this is what we change. Here's how we switch up how we want to play against this.
There's actually like, I can actually like hear three players like Alexi, Eneri, and Tara. They like communicate each other like, oh, this one will do this and this one will do that. So we can do this. Yeah, something like that.
Alexi was saying just now there were a lot of learning lessons from this particular match, and including what you're saying just now, you never really face off like a double sentinel sort of comp. It's just not the APAC style. How are you guys going to be spending the next few days now that you're safely still in the upper bracket? How will you be? Will you be resting, or what do you think we'll be doing here in Berlin over the next few days?
Thank you for that wonderful question, but but for real, we're not gonna get rest after this because after this we're gonna get scolded. We're gonna have a lot of TDM because of that scold. Oh, you did pick 5 times. You're gonna have 10 TDMs, and then we're gonna like VOD review and stuff like that.
Is that like the training punishment, the TDM?
That's legit the punishment, and you will
like
have,
all 5 of you will go and queue
It's real.
And then Colbat will say, okay, you should have this assist, and then the opponent should have only this skill, and if not, you need to go again.
That's gotta be devilish if you're playing like TDM and APAC. You're trying to queue up with your friends, and then they run into you guys.
And then you're gonna queue up with, oh my god, that's a Ascension player. They're so tryhard also, you know.
It's crazy because it's not just about kills, right? Because you guys are all amazing players, but it's like you need to get a certain number of assists and help each other out.
Wait, assists in the
Yes.
TDM?
Legit assists, like you need. Then we're gonna come up with a strat. Okay, guys, I'm gonna play Sky so I can kill you. Then you just kill the guy and stuff like that. So you get more assists. Like we're gonna come up with the.
Do you think it helps?
To be honest, yeah, that's synchronization and the team thinking together and stuff like that. The how do you say this? I forgot the term, but
like your
playing
synergy?
together. Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think it definitely shows that it's devilish. It's horrible little exercise, but I think it's for the benefit of the team. I think you guys have grown a lot since last year. Now, with this day one coming to an end, let's pull up the bracket and talk about what's going to be happening next, what's going to be happening tomorrow, and in the very near future. We are going to see more teams that we haven't seen yet. Mimi, are you excited about any of these in particular?
I'm excited to see SR come back, returning champion, getting to play. G2 coming back to Berlin as well, and then some new players coming up. You're on the same side of the bracket as Shopify Rebellion. Is that a team you want to play if they beat Falcons? Or is that like scary?
It's actually scary for me, but I know like my teammates like Alexi and Odell will be very much excited because they're friends with Floor. So
Okay.
like they're actually wants to play with them like last year. Last year.
If you could play any team in the rest of this bracket, is there like a team you want to play that you're excited about?
Can it be a player actually?
It can be a player for sure.
Actually, I wanna play against Mel because I idolize her ever since the start.
Yeah?
So I wanna try like competing against her before I wasn't like competing Valorant. I always watch her on YouTube.
Was she like an inspiration
Yeah,
for you
yeah,
to
yeah.
start competing?
Yeah, when she was on C9 also.
That's so cool that you then get the chance, because 2 years ago she was C9 here, now you're right there with her and have a chance to play against her maybe.
Yeah,
You know-
the adrenaline also I can feel it, you know.
Hey, you made it. That's awesome.
Cool. Yeah, you know, Mel said it herself actually in the press conference. One of the teams that she is excited to play against are you guys, because she never had that opportunity last
Yeah,
year.
I think she said she wanted to play against like the APAC aim and see
Yes.
if it's all that's it's cracked up to be. I think you could show her it is.
Thank you.
Are there any matches that you actually, as a spectator, you know, Mel is someone you looked up to, that you actually are looking forward to tomorrow? Like, you just want to, like, a VOD that you're excited to look how they
Yeah.
match up against each other?
Possibly like SR.
SR?
Yeah.
And versus who? Or just SR?
SR versus like what's their
They're playing Falcons tomorrow.
Oh yeah, with Falcons. Oh yeah, I legit like I find Mary Kit, so I always watch her also like ever since she was in G2. Because she was like 16 years old back then. So
Well, you'll either get to play Mary or Mel for your next
oh my
game.
god, it's so sad. Okay.
Well, congratulations again today. You guys really fought hard for that well-deserved win, and you're going to continue on that upper bracket here. We got Kamiyu, Mimi, thanks for sticking it around, and the rest of you, thanks for watching that really exciting last match. Thanks for watching Game Changers. We'll see you tomorrow from Berlin.
We have never had a Game Changers chance before without Crew, but just how are they going to fare against a team that's never even set foot on this stage? It is the opening game of the day, which means this best of 3 is going to be absolutely crucial.
Suzu knows what's happening in here. Dod's able to go for the 1-for-1. Dod's very heavily extended. She goes for the ultimate. Suzu reveals herself eventually. Dod's finds yet another one. That is filthy. Oh, she's got to come through it. Okay, we're going to be forced out by the flash. Still able to fight 2 with this judge, jury, executioner, you name it. Moko has lived that life. Trying to clear that close corner with the molly. Here's Serena. 1 down. Dodds fights the second, and it's up to Moko to salvage things for Zeta Division. The time is short, and the triple face gets it done for Visa Crew Blaze. Dodds with that operator. She's headed over to Cat, though. At least keep an eye on that. Oh, she's found Serena. Okay, that was over towards Tiles. Player at Speedway. Robbie trying to play the dangerous game between staying out of sight and getting involved, interrupting a potential plant. There's no time left for it, though. And Moko stood out here with nothing to do. Crew take that round there from Moko now to capitalize on it. But Crew are waiting. High-low setup. And the Sheriffs go to work. Aku, the last one standing. Romy, man. She don't miss on that A-hole. Gonna have to be here, but Dodds already active.
Look at this positioning. Look at the map control from Crew. I have to deal with
Oh,
Dodds,
man.
and the peak is just perfect.
Kinnear waiting for contact to swing off this, and there they go. 3 out of 3 Game Changers Championships appearances for Crew. And they made their way into the quarterfinals.
And we've got Falcons, Vega, and ALG gearing up and ready to go. ALG, some of them are calling them a super team that's formed, even though this team is only formed maybe like 4 or 5 months ago. And the same for Falcons, Vega. We've seen some ups and downs, but when they're up, they look phenomenal.
That's huge from the Soul Anchor from ALG. Now support has arrived, but Toki has dealt with all 3 of them. Picks off the entirety of ALG. 2v2, and again, this crossfire is Toki with the ace.
Just
All
perfection.
down.
Easy BC.
And Muffin has found the opener. Evan Madvi, though, coming online in this round. And Eva towards short still never got shut down.
Now pushing out through the smokes, takes her timing. The Lion shuts her down. 3 kills on the round, and ALG up to 5.
Dash in for Muffin. Up above again, she'll dive into Madvi. And
That's the spike.
might not. Madvi ahead of it. That's one.
It doesn't.
Second as well. No trouble for Madvi. Falcons debut at GCC with a 13-6 map number 1.
Except B main. That's absolutely it. And they're not finding the tripwires.
Yeah, I mean, using the breach aftershock, the paint shells as well, neither.
Now 10 seconds on the clock. I don't know if they can actually plant this spike with Mary sitting back. And they can't.
Okay, Madvi.
For ALG, especially when you contrast that to how well Falcons have played off one another. Flashback into the site. Falcons is already back in, and Toki's teleported behind.
Houston might be able to get a kill, but the blind comes through, and she better start running because Mary is close on her tail.
Falcons 13-2 win their debut match at Game Changers Championship.
Match 3 of today, we got FlyQuest Red facing off against Xipto Gaming. Xipto Gaming often compared to the PaperX of Game Changers, and FlyQuest Red, like we were talking about, they push Shopify Rebellion.
Trying to maybe play off Hunter's Fury, take the space off the back of him, but Aniri already finds Starbound. They know where Starbound's gonna be. Tara in the corner, lines him up again and again!
What the hell?
Because there's a chance that someone was there. So very well done. Shirazi, though,
wow.
from all the way up B-Long, just eviscerating FlyQuest. They started this round in the right place, but it never felt like the right time. Xipto just strength to strength. Now Shirazi has to deal with them both, and the timing is still on her side. She's got the clock on her side, and she's still playing this out. They got off the spike, they didn't get it to half. They got a swing, hit the shot! Shirazi takes them both down. Straight up towards middle, knife. It's gonna go in, and away we go, but Aniri gets stunned up and slowed down. The ult to close, down on the stuns as well. The back of the ult is Dodo Nut to collect. Certainly not done yet, but the spike is in such a bad position, and even Dodo Nut just mop up what remains. We are going to map 3.
Just a dog, no flashes.
Oh
wow.
Shirazi
Wait,
just
she
a
killed
planting
her.
gift. No, wait, what are we watching? What are we watching? What the hell is going on? I don't understand what just happened there. They've got to go and get this one back in hand. Kamiyu creeping a bit closer here. It's going to be Starbound on the fight. The other 2 players focusing on CT. Nice approach. Starbound's done their job. Starbound try and find them, but now spots him. Oh, what a shot! And now with a paint shot back on Dodo Nut. Keeps her alive and with a chance. See, and Kamiyu still closing the gap here. Both players on CT. Xipto done it! You could say that it was an upset the first time, but Xipto have FlyQuest Red's number.